live. Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past live on Twitch every Monday at 8 p.m. I'm your head camp counselor, Duck. We got Javi coming in. Hold on, let's get him in here. I am here with other counselors. Where's my thing? Oh no, Javi, where is he? All right, so we got the other camp counselors. We got Javi, like lighting up a marijuana cigarette, escaping the real world. Byrez. Javi, how are you doing, sir?
Pretty fucking good.
Fucking A. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. We got Jacob. I don't think erections rape people. Pinkston. Jacob, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, well, I guess. I don't know. I watched brain scanning for the longest time.
It's I liked it, but we'll see what you guys thought about it. We've got Jay that could bust my fingers one by one by one by one. McClintock. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing lovely on this rainy Memorial Day.
Fucking check out Jay's setup. He's got the movie playing in the background, so you can check it out as we talk about it.
Watching Stooges.
Oh, yeah.
That's from the movie.
We've got Austin. Real, unreal, what's the difference as long as you don't get caught? McDonald, Austin, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, man, I am great, sir.
And finally, we've got David. It could be any girl in any window, and you know it, Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Fuck yeah. Thank you guys for joining me on a Memorial Day. We watched Brainscan. This was Jay's pick. Release date April 22nd, 1994, with a running time of 96 minutes. A box office of $4 million. That's not
4,000.
4,000.
I wouldn't have believed either.
Yeah. It's not bad for 1994, but it wasn't good enough to be remembered. This is how bad. I could not find this movie anywhere but YouTube, and it was one YouTuber who had uploaded this, and thank God the whole thing was on YouTube. Is that what you're streaming from right now, Jay? YouTube?
No, I rented it on Amazon.
Very
Oh,
nice.
did you watch it with the captions?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, and that is the worst.
They change up. It's like
every cuss word.
Yeah, every cuss word.
Every cuss word.
Well, I'll explain some of the finer production points of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
When y'all get to me, I got a lot to say. It'll be fun.
We might have to do the intro again. It is not showing you guys for some reason on my thing. Where are you guys?
I see all you guys.
But it's not doing it on the... Let me check
Stream
Facebook real quick. Yeah. This is weird. What is going on?
Okay, remember when Jake said don't give Ducky a hassle for technical issues? That's out the window now.
Yeah. This was
what are you doing?
Why I said that.
I honestly don't know where it's at.
We got to sit through those fucking introductions again. Are you fucking crazy? No, you just, when we get going live, you just say, here's everybody, now go.
Fuck it, we'll do it
You
live.
just, when we get going live, you just say, here's everybody, now go. That is my
Fuck it, we'll do
favorite
it live.
fucking
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
Bill O'Reilly's so fucking wife-beating, raging.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that means to play us out.
No, we're live. We're good.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. Fucking thing sucks.
I'm Picasso up here and you keep on bumping my fucking elbow.
All right. No, I think we're good. Never mind. So that was just my mess up. And all that was recorded. So that's
Hey, Duck, take another shot.
I will. Watch.
Why are you so fuzzy? Oh my God.
Because my camera got broke with me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what works? Smudge it. Smudge it with your fingers. That helps.
I'm seeing you. You look like Josh Coulter to me right now, Doug.
Who's Josh Coulter?
You. That's what you look like right now.
There I am. Woo!
I thought he was Bigfoot.
They finally found him.
Synopsis of the movie. A teenager is part of an interactive video game where it kills innocent victims. Later, the murders become real. So we watched Brainscan. We checked it out, and I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did too. We will find out. Does anyone have history with the movie other than Jay? No? That's a big no. Jay, what's your history with the movie?
Okay, so we'll start this off. I'm gonna ask every one of you guys a question. I want to just a quick answer. So I'll pick it and then I want an answer. Duck, what is a movie that had a sequel that you didn't think needed one?
Lawnmower Man 2, and it reminds me of this movie.
Cool. David, what you got?
A movie that didn't need a sequel. Alien.
Okay, there you go. Jake?
Pet Cemetery 2.
Okay, Austin?
Shit, I don't know. Come back to me.
And Javi?
Beethoven.
For me, the first movie I ever saw that had a sequel that I didn't think needed one was Terminator 2.
Really?
Here's the deal. In 1991, Terminator 2 on the E! Entertainment Channel, they had one show that was nothing but trailers. Do y'all remember?
I do. I remember that. Yeah.
And they had that very first original teaser trailer for T2, and it's just you just see Arnold's head, and that's it. It's very, very. It doesn't give anything away.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing the original Terminator and being like, "That's a great movie," and it had such a definitive ending.
Yep.
But they made a sequel to it, and of course, the world is much better for it because it's literally one of the greatest movies of all time. And to be honest with you, I think Edward Furlong carried a lot of that movie.
Jake disagrees.
Not Guy Hamilton?
Nope.
No, well, that's what the critics can say. So y'all can argue with them all you want. But my point being is that Edward Furlong is a big reason why that movie was a success because of the fact that he connected with all the kids.
That makes sense, but I will say that he's not the reason why the movie worked.
Well, Arnold would say that too. Those are Arnold's words, so you can argue with him.
I don't care what the fuck Arnold says.
I got you. Anyway, so this movie is very much considered what I consider the third movie in the quote-unquote Furlong trilogy. Because it's really T2, then of course Pet Sematary 2, which is another movie that definitely didn't need a sequel. And then finally he gets Brainscan. And this is like Edward Furlong's lead movie. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of obviously,
he's the lead.
Yeah, he's the real lead in this movie.
Yep.
No Anthony Edwards, no Arnold. This is him doing his thing. And apparently at the time, he was in a relationship with a woman who was 15 years older than him.
Ooh,
Damn.
gross.
Nice.
Fucking hot.
Because he was 15 when he made this movie.
Yeah, he was 15 when this movie was made.
So also around this time in his actual life, he was emancipated from his parents.
Right.
So his character in Brainscan, that is Edward Furlong to a T. He had nobody telling him to go to school or watching after him, just like his dad in the movie is very absentee. So in a lot of ways, this movie was kind of reflecting what he was going through in his real life. And I just thought it was really, and I obviously didn't know at the time, but to me, I always thought it really came across in a lot of ways. I thought this was one of his better movies. And then obviously after this, besides maybe American History X, things went downhill for him quick.
American History X and Detroit Rock City are his two best movies.
Yeah, I can't argue that too much. I wasn't a big fan of Detroit Rock City, but yeah, American History X, he's phenomenal in it, obviously.
And Jay
When
had
was the
said,
last time he was in something?
"Oh God, who knows?" He was in the Crow sequel. He was in like the fourth one or the third.
Yeah, he was the third Crow, I think.
Yeah, and it did not do very well. Jay had said that when we were kids, every kid wanted to be Edward Furlong. And I said to that, thank God it's not that way anymore. Have you seen Edward Furlong recently? Because he is falling apart. But it's true. He was king of the early 90s. This movie, 94, he was 15 years old. Like Jay said, he was just a kid, which is even creepier when you consider his love interest in this movie was 24 and his best friend was 26 when they made the movie.
Like, you never had a crush on an older woman when you were that age. Fuck off with that shit, bro.
I got crushes on older women now, dude. You're right. You're not wrong.
What if back then everybody just thought he was like 25 because he's dating a 30-year-old? he's just running in circles with like 25 to 30-year-old people. So they're like, yeah, he's 25.
Or he's 20-something. Who knows?
Can you imagine though if the girl was 15 and she was dating a 30-year-old?
Exactly.
It's Hollywood. It's happened a million times.
Girl,
It goes both
I think
ways.
they call that the Jerry Seinfeld effect.
Was that
my God.
Yeah,
Holy
no shit, dude.
So the love interest is played by Amy Hargreaves, and Amy Hargreaves plays the lead's mom in 13 Reasons Why. She is the main character's mom. And
Oh, wow.
She was
I thought
20.
she looked familiar.
Yeah, she's definitely one of those people, actors. And the other guy, Jamie Marsh, who played Kyle, yeah, he was like 26, 27.
Oh, fake Seth Green.
Yeah. What's up, fellow kids? Like, they definitely kind of screamed that. He was 11 years older.
That's crazy.
So,
Yeah.
Jay, let me ask you this: when was the first time you saw this movie, though?
in the theaters. Saw it probably 2 weeks after it opened.
No shit.
You must have seen it right before it left because it only lasted 2 weeks, right?
Right.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, very, very small. So basically, this was a movie of the times, man. I think one of the things that really hurt this movie was the fact that Kurt Cobain had just killed himself about 3 weeks before this movie was released. In this movie, as you can tell, looking at Michael's wardrobe, heavily grunge inspired, and the fact that it's a movie where he's quote unquote playing a murderer or whatnot. Right after Kurt Cobain died, it was just left a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Was Aerosmith considered grunge at this time?
No, and as a matter of fact, that poster is funny because that was the first ever album I ever bought was Get a Grip.
And he's also in the Living on the Edge video from Aerosmith, which came out a year before this. And I'm sure that's why they had 2 Aerosmith posters up in the girl's bedroom.
It was not just them. It was a whole MTV thing. You saw Iron Maiden.
You heard Rob Zombie or White Zombie, I should say.
Yeah. The first time I'd ever heard Primus was in this movie.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I heard Primus.
Same here.
Yeah, it's very much a movie of its time. And like when I say this isn't a 90s movie, this is a 94 movie.
Yeah, it's
a 94.
It's a slice of life, and that score, guys. It just just haunts the whole movie. Bum 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 bum.
It's like 4 notes or something.
And it's
really
not,
good.
and it doesn't ever try to change anything.
No,
it's got a few things, and then the haziness. Another thing I consider this a real grunge movie is that when you're watching it, can't you guys kind of picture that this is a suburb of Seattle?
Oh yeah, I totally got the Seattle vibe from that movie.
Even though apparently it's New Jersey, and where the movie was supposed to take place. It was in Canada. It was in Quebec.
Yeah, Montreal,
where the movie was shot. But he also fucked up at the beginning because he started to say his area code 717, which is Pennsylvania. But if you look at the addresses on there, it says Brunswick, New Jersey, where they're sending all the mail to.
But it just has that. It's just a wet movie. Like I don't mean that in a sexual way, but it's a very wet movie.
And today was the perfect day to watch it.
Yes,
too. It was pouring down rain. I watched it in the afternoon. It was perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were talking about the musical influence, and I think we got to go straight to the character of the Trickster. Who is basically an Alice Cooper type character. And yeah, I fucking love the Trickster. I thought he was awesome. I thought that it reminded me of Drop Dead Fred in a lot of ways. It was just that side character that made the movie even more interesting. And the fact that they got a theatrical actor to play him just espoused so much charisma, and it was so even just when he says hello at the beginning and he does that little bow. And the way he moves is just cartoonish and over the top, and
he stole the show.
Stage. He stole the show, 100%.
Yeah.
What else was he in?
Demands your attention. He's a voice actor. I know that he does a lot of fucking voiceover.
Venture Brothers.
I was gonna say, but I haven't really seen him in anything. I was looking it up also. I couldn't really.
It's one of those things where theatrical actors and movie actors kind of have that divide where theater actors stay on Broadway or in theater, and then. So it's just one of those things. That was his pursuit, was that instead of film. So
he was great.
He was amazing.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, and he does the voice of Igor, the phone system, which no one had that phone system in 1990.
Dude, yeah, they have no idea how the computers and the
isn't that crazy?
Work back then.
But that's Alexa, right? That
was
for
Alexa. Sure. Yeah.
Not only that, it's got that whole kind of internet vibe without actually mentioning the internet.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a couple of years before I'd ever had America Online.
He already had a virtual gaming chair unit.
Yeah, man. I know.
It was so ahead of its fucking time. They predicted the future.
But really accurately predicted the future in the not so distant future. It felt like in a lot of ways. Because just that setup with the master is busy, and
dude, why can't we have that? Why can't we make turn Alexa into Igor? How badass would that be?
That'd be really cool.
Oh, by the way, the guy that played the Trickster did the voice of Igor, right?
Yeah. But that's it. Jay pointed this out. He said this movie takes place in a world where the internet exists, but they never mention it. And I think he's right. I mean, he just said that, but to reiterate, this is before we really knew anything about the internet and what was going to happen. And yeah, it feels totally, utterly connected. in so many more ways. And the idea that it's a video game that's live action, that was kind of a big thing at the time. If you think Sega CD,
Sega
3D,
CD,
Yeah.
things like
3DO.
What was that
Fuck
violent game on Sega CD where you were
Night
like
Trap.
that?
Night Trap.
Yeah.
Trap, yeah. So the idea of full motion video was kind of in the beginning days of that, and so this kind of piggybacks off of that, and the idea that video games are warping the the minds of our children, just like violent movies and music and all that plays together into this character who is quote unquote a freak, a misfit, and most likely become a serial killer. They were saying that. And whether or not those media plays into people becoming murderers, I don't know. But it's interesting in this story, at least, that he would, be so desensitized by the things that happen because he has PTSD. Those nightmares that he has in the beginning of the movie, the fact that he keeps looking at his scar, the fact that when he sees the blood, it literally flashes back to the car accident again.
Okay, so again, I talk about this being the Furlong trilogy. Every one of these movies, Edward Furlong's got something going on with a parent. So T2, his dad's dead. Obviously, he was killed in the original. Pet Cemetery 2, his mom dies. Very beginning of the movie. Brainscan, mom dies. Very beginning of the movie. You see like these recurring themes that
I'll add one more. A Home of Our Own with Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's another. He's always swimming in that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That
parental drama.
Yeah.
And so whenever he goes into the game, though, the fact that he views it as a game, he becomes a willing participant as a murderer, as the killer, and the idea that he can't remember it until afterwards is kind of intriguing because the first game, he witnesses it. The second game, he remembers nothing. I don't know why.
Boo.
And then the third and fourth just become timers, basically. They just program timers.
Just turn on the egg timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the last two, I was like, why is he even putting in the disc? You're just getting up and doing the thing.
Yeah, just go over there and kill her.
I've got a theory.
What is it changing?
I've got a theory. This is my best explanation after literally just watching it again. I think somehow when he's the game itself, I think he is imbued with certain killer-like qualities, and they show that with the Trickster when they obviously, spoiler alert, merge at the end. But he kind of needs the game to kind of like, it's like you're playing a video game. So, and when you play a video game, you get certain qualities. I think that's what it is. That's all.
I thought it was just because, spoiler alert, the whole time he's in the game. So I thought that's what it was.
I got it.
Just because he never left the game.
Look, actually, what happened was because it was 94, they couldn't put this whole fucking game on one disc. So every time he's putting in the disc, he's actually literally doing that, and he doesn't even fucking realize that he's doing it. He's so under a hypnotic trance.
How great did it feel to see that 1994 CD-ROM where you have to take out the entire thing that you put?
The whole hard drive, and then you pull out the disc from it.
Was that a thing?
Oh, absolutely.
That was a real thing. Like you put in the bottom of the actual the CD.
Yeah.
Case
Put it in a case and then put it inside the fucking CPU.
It was the coolest thing in the world.
It was state of the art.
It still is, because as I was watching it, I was going, "That's badass. How does that work?"
As a matter of fact, the original release for this movie, when it finally did get a DVD release, the CD was a brain. So just like it was
on the disc itself.
It was obviously a fun little homage.
That's cool.
So
I will say.
Sorry, go
ahead.
No, go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say the beginning of the movie when he is stalking his neighbor. That is some really good quality artsy filmmaking right there. It was actually beautifully shot. Like, even though it was super creepy that he was stalking her, like the music and everything.
Find out he was flirting in a weird way.
Yeah, I figured we'd get to it eventually. But this is like a movie trope from the 80s and early 90s that always existed, where the protagonist was the peeping Tom, and he always fucking looked at the girl that he loves like creepily and shit. Like, I don't know if that was like written in some Hollywood movie clause where they had to put out a certain amount of movies every year that had this.
I think what it was, Jake, is that whoever the makers of the movies are old creepy guys, and they're like, you know what? These young kids like to stare at women through windows. Put that in there. Did you notice like some of the old, like when they had the teenagers in this movie say some words that were not from the 90s, like they would like freak out, man. Way groovy. Like who talked like that?
Who the fuck was ever in charge of writing the dialogue for this movie? Needs to be dragged out and shot.
Well,
So many bad things that are going on. Fucking, like the way that
Far out, man.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's like totally. These are my Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. He's like Kyle's a walking Simpsons character. Like he really is. And I never got a really great vibe about him even when I first saw it, but I'm like, he's so much older than Ed Furlong.
Oh yeah. 27. Holy shit.
Hey, hello, fellow kids.
Boy, I tell you what though, they didn't have the dialogue down, but they had the fucking look down. Kyle was every single teenage Nirvana listener from 1994. They had that outfit down to a T.
2 flannels and a vest.
Yep.
Hood denim combo.
Yeah.
Definitely needed. And the girl too, Amy Hargreaves.
Oh yeah. She had the
90s,
94 look down.
Yeah, she had
high-waisted jeans with no top on.
Oh, mom jeans. Yeah, she had those, and it's like you could just hear Mazzy Stars fade into you. She got on stage.
Did anyone else go look up her age after they showed titties? Because I was creeped out by the fact that she might be
right
her
here.
age. Because I'm like, there's no way they would allow a child to show titties in a movie. And then
that's not true.
I know, that's what I realized. So
Lagoon.
I wanted to enjoy the titties.
American Beauty.
Yeah,
I had to talk with my dick as it was getting hard. I was like, hey, just let me let me Google this real quick, and then go for it.
If it's good enough for Polanski, it's good enough for me. You know.
Oh boy, that's a bumper sticker. Holy shit! Oh my god! I got new merch.
This is terrible. All right, back on track. Edward Furlong was terrible and good in this movie. I thought he carried it very well.
Absolutely.
And then there were some times when he was so over the top with his whys and shut ups and whatnot. I was like, who is this kid and why is he in movie? He was in T2. He wasn't great, but he was also pretty damn good.
He was Edward Furlong. He did the Edward Furlong thing.
It was a style of acting. I'm not saying it was good, but that was totally Furlong. Like the way he acted in T2, it's like nothing is for sure except what we make for ourselves. Like it became that whiny Edward Furlong thing, and then in Pet Sematary 2, the same thing when he's dealing with the bullies and everything. And then this one, it became him. And I think that, again, him not having any sort of like parents around or anyone to tell him like, hey, you kind of suck. Like, I mean, but like it's a positive thing when you have people like that, so you can kind of get better. But again, man, he just had a 30-year-old woman that was just boinking his brains out.
Oh God!
Well, apparently the director fucking hated his guts because he said he was a shitty actor.
Punch him.
Yeah, he said he was an awful actor.
Well, because he said that just like I said, he's like, no one's watching out for this kid, and it shows. But
the Trickster was watching out for him. He had his best interest at heart. He wasn't such a bad guy after all.
Hey, dude, what about Frank Langella? That was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
He's
Skeletor,
so
dude. Fuck
I loved it. That was so great. Even though he seemed bored out of his mind, it fit the character he was playing. That dude was a cold, calculated, cool motherfucker, man.
When he was shaving the bone particle, or scraping the bone particles. That's a scene that I really loved. When he's talking to his partner and he's like, what is it, summer? What's he doing burning right now? Like, I love those little choices that the movie makes throughout.
Also, how many laws were the cops breaking? They're interviewing an underage kid without a guardian around, breaking into the house to scoop up evidence.
Yes. B&E, bro.
But then I was like, wow, they are just full on, just fuck it.
See, I didn't even call the police. He didn't even call an ambulance whenever the guy got shot. He was just like, we just keep rolling, guys.
He goes, or the part where he's like, if I see any private citizens with guns, I'm gonna arrest you. Every one of them has guns.
Yeah, everybody
well,
turns around and loads their guns.
The principal was like, shit, I was going to kill him. And then he walks away. And then you see everybody in the woods afterwards are like, yeah,
with
fuck
guns.
that.
Well, that to me was the best line, though, is when Franklin Jella tells that guy, which one of you guys is going to call his wife?
First of all, his partner did not look like a cop. He looked like a high school,
he looks like a teacher,
a chemistry teacher. He's like, I thought he was Kyle's dad. That was the first vibe I got, is that he was Kyle's dad. And then he's coming over to the house with the cop. I'm like, I'll tell you what,
who was that guy?
In Montreal, all I could think is after the fact, I was like, man, in Montreal, they be wilding out. They got all sorts of fun.
Like,
right, because
why
you're
are
so
they doing
invested,
this?
like, is this actually happening? But when it's one of those movies where you have to watch it in hindsight, and then you appreciate these little clues that they give you that it's not really what it
this
seems.
isn't really.
Hey, man, I really appreciated the twist at the end. I didn't see it coming, and I was like, all right, my hat's off to you.
I
didn't see it
think
coming.
there could have been a better ending, but it was the 90s, and they had to make everything a happy ending at the end.
Well, yes, and I actually thought they were going a little bit against type because, like, as you see what's happening to him throughout this movie, when he calls up Kyle, and it's the cop, and he's like talking, and he can just, the cop knows it's him, obviously. I really felt dread for him. Like, I really felt like this guy's life's about to be over. Like, he's really about to go to jail or worse. Like, it really felt like there was this downward spiral.
What about Kyle? He got murdered. He didn't even get to play the fucking game. He asked him like fucking 7 times.
I have a hard time killing. Go ahead, Austin.
I was just gonna say, Jay only cares about the well-being of the peeping Tom.
Yeah.
No, I just felt
The
dread
voyeur.
for him. I felt dread for him. Like, I really felt like, I'm with you, David. I did not see the twist coming. I thought it was just going to get worse and worse and worse for him, and it really pretty much did. But then they did somehow put some magic dust on this and let him reboot it. And it was one of the first times I'd ever watched a movie and I breathed a sigh of relief. I was 13, so I was like, oh, thank God. It was like waking up from a bad dream. It really was.
I've had those dreams before where they're super realistic and I've murdered somebody or I've been arrested and I wake up relieved. You're like, oh, fuck, thank God that was just a dream.
Yes.
Do you think it's all the art that you do that might be influencing these dreams?
Probably.
like a correlation there, yeah.
Probably. By the way, I had a really weird sensation the other night. I was leaving my area right here after working and I turned off the lights and everything was pitch black and I was going towards the door and I had a vision of the door slamming. And all the dolls attacking me, and I got really freaked out, and I was like, but one of the things I thought was really smart about this movie is I loved the way they set up the ending with the horror movie club and the whole idea of the principal being like, I'm gonna have to watch a movie before I let you watch it. And then that turns into the
Great
end.
choice.
Yeah, I thought that was
Great
really.
choice.
I mean, there were some parts in this, like, if this movie is one of those movies where I'm like, if it's 1994, I really, really like this movie.
Yes.
And I was bummed out that the video store never got it where I worked at and it was never in the theaters. And I think it got a bad rap because the Trickster was a great, great bad guy. And this movie, I could have totally seen this movie having a Jason or a Freddy or a Hellraiser type of run where it had multiple sequels, because it's one of those movies where he can go Brainscan, can go to anybody. It doesn't have to be Edward Furlong in every movie,
Right. So the that one scene where the Trickster is in the TV and he goes, "Game over, you lose." That was the tagline of the trailer, and so I remember this very vividly. So like March of '94. Like on MTV, on most of the channels that were geared towards me, the teenager, you'd see Brainscan trailers quite a bit. It got a lot of rotation. The second that Kurt Cobain died,
gone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, it got no promotion after that. They wanted this movie to literally die a fast death, and they're like, okay, let's go forward.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I will. Go ahead, Jake.
I was going to ask how quick it was after this movie was released. Did Cobain?
Kurt Cobain died before. before this movie came out.
Oh,
About
okay.
about 2 or 3 weeks before.
Well, I picked it up from HBO, and I think it came out like a year after it was at the movie theater,
95.
which is a really
95,
quick
yeah.
turnaround for movies at that time.
Yeah.
And they pumped it the fuck up. Like, that's how I knew about this
But
movie.
yeah,
That's
yo,
whenever I watched it, because they just constantly ran promos during the day whenever they weren't showing anything, or they had 15 minutes to fill in between odd timed movies. And
Yeah,
shit, you know?
I think it was just more like at the time of Kurt Cobain's death, like they were like, oh shit. It was the only thing that really mattered, like in the world for a good while. Was
Yeah, but I mean, nobody knew that Courtney Hull was the trickster at that time.
Courtney Hole. Hey, I would like to bash Edward Furlong from some shitty acting on his limp. That was fucking awful.
He never knew which leg it was on, and then he could like magically run
bad.
downstairs. It's like, do you not know how fucking limp works?
I was so confused on that because I'm like, when did he hurt his leg, and why is his leg fixed now? And why is the other leg hurt now?
Maybe
And
if
then
they would have let us seen part 3, we would have known that shit.
And he doesn't start limping until after he brings up the limp.
He's like,
Yeah,
He's
my
like,
limp.
You know I can't do that because of my limp.
Once
So
again,
bad,
it's a video
man.
game. It's a video game, so it's infallible. That's a glitch.
I think
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and also, yeah, maybe that's the other thing is that because when he's playing the game, he doesn't have the limp.
right.
So in real life, he does have a limp, so he gets to feel whole again. Maybe, I don't know. They don't feel like they really got into the whole car wreck with his mom. I thought they could have really dealt, but it felt like they wanted to, but then they just stopped.
You know what I think? How I think this movie should have ended?
How's that?
Everything as it is, but he really dies in the game, okay? And he has a fucking aneurysm while he's in the chair, and he's bleeding out, and the cops come rushing in, and they find him because they realize that he's a killer, and the screen just says game over, boom,
Yeah.
and they look at it, fade to black.
It's like that Black Mirror episode with Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell, and that's
I was about to say that when my Lindsay and I were watching this, she pointed that out. She was like, "Wow, this is a Black Mirror episode 30
Absolutely.
years earlier."
Absolutely,
Yeah.
It's definitely a one of a kind horror movie. For good, better or worse, it is definitely one of a kind. I mean, like, okay, so there was a movie that came out around this time called Arcade.
yeah, love it.
Which was starring Peter Billingsley from A Christmas Story, AJ Langer, and
The dirt
Seth
bike
Green.
kid.
yeah, they're my kid. You might heard of it.
Fucking Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah. So, but that was straight to video. This one got the quote unquote Hollywood treatment, and that's why it's so shiny. It's just a very shiny movie. Like you could tell they really 90s like obviously.
Hey, check out these sweet CGI graphics we got in our final end scene, our
Okay, but
our
when the
climax.
when the trickster shows up, that is a pretty cool effect whenever he comes out of the TV.
Agreed.
And then the guts
Bury the
fall
ring.
out.
It was like the ring.
It was very cool. And then
But the body, I like the body forming. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And
You see all the
from head.
organs and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
very a Videodrome too. Videodrome.
Oh
I think,
yeah.
had a big influence on this too. Cronenberg.
Yep.
Long
Live the flesh.
Yeah.
There's
The New
another
Flash.
there's
The New
another
Flash.
Cronenberg movie that's even more like this called Existence. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
Existence,
That's that's really good, man.
Yeah.
That's
lot of
fucking
people-
great.
A lot of people thought that was a Matrix ripoff.
Yeah, a
Those
lot of
mov-
people compared the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, they compared
I
a
can
lot.
see
'Cause
that.
Jude,
Well, the Matrix ripped off everybody, so fuck 'em.
Right.
for
True.
sure.
Why does the trickster say you are me at the end of it? I didn't understand that at all. Like they're the same person, and then he eats him.
Well, that was just part of the game. But was it though? It wasn't part of the game because he saw him at the fucking end with the principal after the game was over.
Well, the game has to be real because he seizures him beforehand. Remember, like when he calls the number the first time, he has the seizure in the chair, and then he gets the disc. So there's got to be some supernatural power to the game, even though at the end they act like there isn't. There's got to be. And like, does his friend eventually play the game? Does everyone get a chance to play the game? And what happens if you fucking lose the game? That
he
was
lost the game. He lived.
Oh, so you can lose.
I
the
think
game
it's just a
to win.
commentary on marketing and advertising. That's what I think.
Because
You know
even-
what? Video games are the devil. And I think that's what it is all about.
This definitely felt like some propaganda from that time against video games and like
Oh,
the violence.
Well, yeah, oh, for sure,
Yeah.
because that's what
Gore
happens.
behind this movie, then?
Yeah,
Tipper
because
Gore was an executive producer.
yeah, it definitely. I would agree. I definitely think this movie has a message at the end that video games are equate to being a loser, because when he destroys his computer and everything and has that very and like he's basically coming on to Kyle, hey man, what's up? I love you. You got a good looking ass. Like
Buddies forever.
buddies forever. Like
Yeah, because the old
I almost-
teenager said that in the fucking 94. What the?
I almost felt like the girl didn't even matter at that point. It's like I think
They're fucking.
yeah, Kyle and Michael they're buddies forever.
I got a Columbine vibe. The way those two guys in Columbine had like a gay thing for each other.
Yeah, and also that Eddie Furlong is a sociopath the whole time that he plays. He doesn't care. Like it was just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah,
like
that's pretty. Yeah, because after he murders him, he's like exhilarated.
It was
where
great.
everybody else would have been horrified that
Yeah.
they murdered somebody. He's like, dude, my dick was hard the entire time.
right. There was a raging party outside that I didn't go to, and I
Yeah.
could have probably fucked that chick that I liked. But no, I killed somebody, and I got off way more than I ever would.
Did that guy seem like he would have a foot tattoo? The guy he killed, because that was
That was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
But it was. I think it was just to really. I don't know. Make the foot stand out. I guess. 'Cause it was
Identify the foot.
A
Video
snake.
game. Video
Yeah.
game.
Absolutely. Speaking of games, are those board games behind you, Jay? Is that like a giant mountain of board games?
So this is their theater room, and
They'll
he's got,
say.
Theater.
Where's
he's,
Jay?
yeah, he's got a bunch of those board
He's at
games. Yeah.
Sean's house, Sean Trainer's house, right
Yeah.
now. So, the movie. I mean, honestly, I thought it was a lot of fun. And you guys have anything else really to say about it? I think we covered pretty much every little thing.
Well,
other than-
I've got something to say. I loved, as a huge Harry Potter fan, I loved seeing Voldemort going through his 80s hair metal phase. That's the backstory I needed.
That's pretty good.
I thought the makeup was good. I loved it. The makeup, the
What a
mohawk.
stirring endorsement of my joke.
But
I'm muting myself.
the
You
makeup
needed
was
it.
good.
I'm just saying. I don't think you got the love that I needed.
The makeup was good. The mohawk was badass. The
You
fucking
muted yourself.
eating the chicken, eating like the raw chicken.
That's the one scene that I thought had zero point where he's like putting the mustard on all the food.
Yeah. Why is he eating?
I would delete that scene 1,000 times.
Does he not need? Yeah.
There's fan edits too. There's fan edits of this movie where they just cut out that one scene because they're like, it just doesn't make any
There's no point. There's
I
no
think
point
what
to
they-
it.
I think what they were trying to do is I feel like sometimes they were trying to give him more of a sense of humor, but they didn't stick to that. But sometimes he is kind of silly, and then sometimes he's just kind of like, we're fucking killing people today.
It's
That's
like
what
a
we're doing.
hardcore version of Howie Mandel and Little Monsters.
Yeah, it's like a
sure.
best of version between Howie Mandel from Little Monsters and Drop Dead Fred.
and a little Freddy Krueger, definitely some Freddy Krueger vibes.
He's a frenemy. He's the bad guy, but he's not really the bad guy.
He's a catty bitch.
I think the best way to sum it up for me is Lindsay watched it with me, and she watched it, kind of not watched it. But when the character came on after a while, she just said, she looks up and she says, "Well, that's a fun character."
Yeah.
And then went back, and I was
It's
like,
like
pretty
great
much.
character design.
Yeah, it's like that's a fun. He was fun.
He definitely, when he's on screen, he steals the show. He's the Joker of the movie. And Javi kind of ruined the chicken eating scene because he posted something on Facebook the other day with a guy eating raw chicken. So I wasn't as shocked by it because the one Javi posted, I was like, oh god,
Slathering it.
terrible. But no, the Trickster is great. I think that he. He's
Can I
awesome,
just
yeah.
jump? I want to jump in before I lose this thought. You mentioned the chicken, and you saw a video. Last night we had dinner and card playing time with my Lindsay's grandparents and parents. And her grandfather used to work at a drive-in movie theater in Alpine, Texas, in the 50s. And they used to in intermission, they would throw out popcorn and stuff to the audience. But then at the end of the movie, the grand finale, they would throw out a live chicken to the audience.
To eat?
Yes.
You got to take home and bring its fucking neck, and you got dinner for the evening.
Yep. Fucking insane, dude.
You know everyone was
Yeah.
ready for that chicken
Pretty
too.
awesome.
Everyone was super
Yeah,
pumped.
that's
about
why
it.
they went. That's why they went.
Chicken,
Yeah,
chicken,
Gotta
chicken.
do what you gotta do for dinner.
That's fucking crazy.
Sorry, so that was my chicken side.
Oh, it's all right. Like I said, I think
West.
we covered pretty much everything on the movies. Does anyone else have anything else to say about Brainscan?
One takeaway from this is Edward Furlong should never been able to act in any movie ever. The reason why I think that he was able to get on the screen is because he had a cute face and that was it. They found out he was fucking stiff as a board. He couldn't do shit, and that's why he fucking turned into whatever he is now. But
He was no
God.
Jonathan Brandis.
god damn, he was not.
Oh my
man,
god!
that is-
Oh my
wow.
It should have been you, not Brandis Furlong.
You hanging from
Oh,
the
Fuck you, Furlong. Should have
Man.
been you.
You should think you're out of the
Yeah,
whatever.
Jonathan
whatever
Brandis.
is his list in the death note.
Javi, now you said
fucking
it.
worst.
Now you said it, I cannot unsee it. Jonathan Brandis, he really should have had all the roles that
He would have
that-
fucking
Yes.
killed that.
Yes.
Well, you know what though? But maybe because he was doing it, he couldn't do Terminator, because his role in it was fire.
It was.
Of course, everything that he was in.
was just like,
Sidekicks, come on.
Come on, bro.
Oh, dude, Ladybugs.
Outside of Providence,
Side.
Oh yeah. Then
Never Ending Story 3?
two.
Come on.
two. Yeah.
It was the kid from
The Free Willy was the third one.
No, how about the Roy Schreider submarine TV series?
Sequest.
Sequest.
Yeah,
Yes,
with the creepy talking dolphin.
Oh
That
yeah.
you know someone was fucking.
Oh, that
Of course.
dolphin was a total pervert.
Yeah, what
I just
dolphin.
remember that show. I remember that dolphin be like, "Take off
Look
your
at,
top."
look at Austin's eyes right now. He's trying to process what the fuck we're talking
Dude,
about.
no lie.
SV stood
It
for
was a
deep sea
show-
violators.
What
it-
the fuck?
It was Star Trek underwater. It was Roy Schneider as a stapler as the captain, and there was a talking dolphin called Darwin that had like a robotic voice, and it would be like, "Take off
So
your shirt,
creepy.
show me your titties. Ooh, let me caress
Dude,
them all."
we should redo those clips and overdub his voice.
Oh, yeah. What if he just put Brandis's face on Furlong throughout this whole
Deep
Yeah,
fake
just do a deep fake. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Deep fake.
But then it's not gonna get rid of the horrible line delivery and the horrible dialogue that is in this fucking.
I think this movie's good in spite of Edward Furlong. Does that make sense?
I
No,
like
it
the
totally does.
concept. I like
Yeah.
the concept.
Yeah.
I think that Jake brought up a good point, though. His lines kind of suck, but the Trickster, I don't know if it's the guy who's delivering it, the actor, but everything he says, you're hanging on the edge of your seat waiting to see.
It's
what
the
he's
actor,
saying.
man. He just does such a great and to do it behind the makeup.
Chewing
You
up
know, he was
scenery,
able-
man.
Yeah, and again, I go back to Frank Langella, man. I loved his role in this, even though he seemed disinterested as an actor. His choice of that cold and calculated detective was fucking awesome.
Dude, you know he was there for only like a fucking week.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah,
that.
like, yeah.
How much? I mean, if y'all were to guess, how much money do you think Frank Langella got for this? Maybe
He
like,
probably got a good chunk of the budget.
probably like
honestly.
500 grand.
yeah, 500. But yeah, and he just got to kind of walk through this movie,
Yeah.
like, but in a good way. He
He was so good, man. And what's interesting that you think about it now that most of his scenes are in the video game, he almost seemed like an AI detective in a video game.
Yeah, he's so cold.
Everything can be explained away. Video game. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It's
yeah.
that fucking. It's the Dallas fucking ending. Like,
Hey,
it was all a dream. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever happened, it doesn't matter. There's inconsistencies. Sorry, David.
I was just gonna say, well, speaking of the video game, whatever happened to that movie that was supposed to be about the guy that always dies in video games? He's a character, and then he becomes.
Ryan Reynolds.
still
Yeah,
coming
what the
out.
fuck
It's
is?
still
Oh, it
coming out.
is.
It'll be
Okay.
out in like November, I think.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Well,
Okay.
is there anything else we can say about this movie at all?
Yeah, go
Great
watch
sound.
A Quiet Place too.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Oh yeah, good sound. The
Super
score-
icon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Totally. All right. Well, let's go to recommend. Jake, do you recommend the movie or no?
Not unless you seen it before and you forgot about it. But as a new viewer, I really don't want to subject anybody to this. I mean, I guess it has a few redeeming qualities, but I just don't think you will get it. if you haven't seen it before.
I'm going to piggyback off of you, dude. I thought it was fucking great. And yeah, it's a product of its time. I agree with the fact that it's a film for 1994, but I enjoyed it immensely. And it's one of those movies I will be happy to share with other people. I really, really dug it. But I think you do need to be of a certain age and you need to have grown up in that time to enjoy it. It's definitely a product of that time, specifically that year. I agree with Jay says that. Javi, would you recommend the movie or no? You haven't said much.
I'm not gonna, this is my first time ever seeing this movie, and yeah, I tried. I couldn't get into it. I didn't like it, but I would recommend it. You know, if you're like into nostalgia, if you want to recapture the magic that was the '90s and Fever Furlong and all that shit, watch it. You're gonna have
Fever
fun.
Furlong.
Yes, I recommend it.
All right, cool. Austin, what do you think? Recommend or no?
I would say, yeah, I would recommend it just for the Trickster alone to watch that character. I think the movie drags a little bit for me sometimes, but I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I would tell people, hey, if you just want to check out this character, you would definitely want to watch this movie. Because I think it is. It's all about that character. Other than that, it's all right.
All right. David, how about you? Recommend or no?
I would recommend it the way Jay recommended it to me, which was like, hey, man, this is a 90s movie, a 90s techno horror movie. And so that's how I would recommend, because I had never seen it. Oh, wow, that was bad. I had never seen it.
On the end of it,
and I'm glad that Jay recommended it, because I really did enjoy it. But I'm also, the 90s was when I got laid the most. And so that was when I was in a grunge band. And so it really brought me back. So I think the nostalgia really worked for me.
Were you creeping on people through windows with your video camera too back then?
No, bro, I was the bass player. I didn't have to creep. Well, yeah, I did. I had to wait until the drummer, the lead singer, guitar player.
You got
to put up all the
pickings.
equipment. And
and then wait till the guy that drove the van got laid.
All right, Jay, finally, you recommend or no?
Yeah, I would. I think that, like I said, it's a movie at a time. If a lot of people don't get it, I completely understand. All the problems people have with it. I just kind of felt like once this movie came out, I feel like 90s horror went like it was the last movie of that time, because after this came out, Scream became what most people considered the definitive late 90s horror. So I kind of felt like it was like the end of an era in a lot of ways. And so, you know, because to me, the Trickster really reminded me a lot, like I said, a little bit of like Freddy Krueger had just died and Jason had just gone to hell. And so I think in some ways they're trying to create the next one of those guys.
You know,
and I think
he was like Beetlejuice.
He was like
a little bit of mix.
He didn't have that much screen time, but he fucking took every piece of fucking scenery and he made it more intriguing than what the fuck was actually going on.
You're gonna remember him.
So I'll not that I don't recommend the movie, but I'm just saying, if you don't have a soft spot for 90s shit, don't watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely, if someone wanted to ask you like what it was like being a teenager in the 90s, I would definitely point to this one way more than I would point to Scream. I'll say that.
Everybody was just looking in everybody's windows.
Much more.
Everybody, the entire neighborhood.
Yeah,
looking at each other's windows.
even her at the end, she's like, "Oh, I'm a voyeur too. I've been snapping pictures."
I mean, how lucky is that guy that he
he's like, "Oh, god damn, just dodged a bullet."
like they can't.
Or what if it turned him off? He was like, "Whoa, whoa."
That's another thing.
Jesus,
He got mad at her for writing in the fucking school paper, which is writing about murders in the city for some reason. I don't know what any high school paper does that shit. And he's like, ugh, how could she? And it's like, you've been looking through a window with a fucking camcorder. What are you talking about?
Not only that, but they act like the school newspaper is the most popular newspaper in town.
It's the Monty.
It's the Monty. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all notice that when they mentioned it's the Monty?
Yes.
Like it's almost like they should have all looked at us, like broke the fourth wall and go, duh, it's the Monty.
All right, guys, let's get to some clips. Let's check out this movie. All right. Let me know if you can see that. Oh, what?
I can hear it.
Can you see it?
I can see
I can
it.
see it.
It
All
looked
right.
like he was missing his right foot.
Starting strong. Violence.
Looks like a little nubbin.
They should have just cast this little kid in the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, he would have killed him.
Oh!
All right. Got milk? Oh, who got milk?
Here it is. Choose from chainsaw
He's
dismemberment,
constantly spilling it
nightmare
all.
8,
He is
Okay,
constantly-
real quick, guys. How badass were his refrigerator magnets?
Oh yeah, they were
The Alice
legit.
Cooper
And the
was fucking
pizza?
dope.
The
I was
pizza.
like, where did he even get these? I'd never seen those.
Well,
before.
he was a perfect example of like the dad had a really good job but was never home, so just bought him whatever he wanted.
Like, I tell you what, that's another reason I wanted his life. I thought having like absentee parents would have been.
Oh fuck!
A
it's
VR computer chair.
It's Home Alone.
Do whatever you
but all the-
want.
Yeah, it's Home Alone. In a lot of ways, this movie is like Home Alone on acid because he gets to be Kevin McAllister all the time.
Yeah.
All I could think was his
I don't know.
setup
Have
is.
you seen Blank Check though?
Yeah, what did Kevin McAllister do breaking and entering and murdering?
Javi, you trying to drop a Brian Bonsall reference on me?
Does-
I just did.
Doesn't his computer setup look like every nerd's computer setup now, though, with like the neon lights and everything like that?
I think this movie greatly inspired what you were supposed to want for a computer setup.
And
Without a doubt.
now I have. Creeper!
I like this scene. I love this scene. Oh yeah. She knows.
She knew.
She knows.
He's the bass player.
She
Yep.
she was completely like, doing it for him, showing some skin.
Brain scan. Austin's disgusted by that.
It depends on the individual. What makes Brainscan unique is that it interfaces with your subconscious. You supply the inspiration and we take care of the rest.
Look, R2D2, how do you really expect me to
Bishop!
Langella!
I am Archer.
sir?
Well, this is none of your business then, is it?
Get the fuck out of here, kid.
Fuck off, kid.
On
Yeah,
your
there's a-
fucking sweet ass moped.
Yes,
I've got a
I can
science
see why
teacher
you
sitting
like
behind me.
This movie so much, man.
Fucking
He really
Christian
killed it.
Slater had a better one.
So is
And
it
what-
Igor or Igor?
Billie Jean, bruh.
Because
It's
he's
Igor,
not my
bro.
lover. It's Igor or is it Igor?
Igor. It's Igor.
Okay.
It's all
Walk this way.
I don't care.
Dial
Igor.
I want one of these.
That's the voice of the Trickster also.
How's that Judge Doom?
Oh yeah, totally Judge Doom.
You can even
Judge
do that.
Doom and Fester, which is weird. because he
The
played both of
same
them.
actor. Yeah.
Disc number 1. This is a little bit longer clip.
On the right. That's it. Inside. Choose one.
First person shooter, bro.
Get the tongs! The tongs!
That fucking cat.
At first I thought this was Cheech. He just shaved his mustache like he was doing Nash Bridges or something. Why did he have to take his foot?
As a
I mean, I guess
memento.
it's part of the game, right? But he also had to hide it.
Put it in a safe place.
Yeah, I don't know why he took his foot other than memento, I guess. For like and like
also,
Well, I think it's
let's
just-
take a memento.
yeah.
I think it's just the trickster like trying to set up screwing him over in the long run in the game.
Well, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So he's just having him do weird shit to like, yeah.
Yeah, his buddy Kyle was not a witness. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I love how he was like towards the end when he's like, you have to go kill her. She was a witness. Like there was also the cop that he ran into. There was multiple witnesses. What do you? No, you have to kill him.
The whole neighborhood had cameras put on his house or his tree house or whatever.
Yeah. Everybody's in Team Tom in that neighborhood, so everybody.
The HOA, man.
Anybody else play Red Dead Redemption? And I just immediately thought of that when he kept on talking about a witness. Anytime you kill someone in Red Dead, you have a witness. Like, oh fuck,
that motherfucker.
I'm gonna go chase down a witness again. Now we got another witness.
Yeah.
There's a witness.
Maybe I can talk him out of it. No, gotta shoot him.
Before you know, it's just like Russian nesting witnesses. And you just go body a pile of fucking witnesses.
Rushing nesting witnesses. My new improv troupe
I was
name.
gonna say, dude.
It's like that commercial for the slap where he just keeps slapping everybody at the party.
All right, the Trickster.
It's like the only like semi-practical effect that they have in the movie.
This is what we're talking about, dropping the guns. This is weird shit.
Looks like pasta.
Allow me to introduce myself.
It looked like one of those drug commercials with Penny.
I thought that was pretty cool. I like the Trickster. It's a puppy with a foot in its mouth. That was it.
Good boy.
The fact that Edward Furlong told that dog, I promise I'll never ask you
Yeah,
for another thing ever again.
That is such a that's so Edward Furlong.
No, that's bad dialogue writing, like I said about this whole fucking
horrible.
movie.
Edward
This
Furlong.
movie is
Horrible.
just scattered with lines like this. You're like, what are you saying?
I
promised I would never.
Is he just dyslexic?
We all know
But
that's not the
he's-
first time he's told that to a dog.
He's talking to the dog like the dog is like literally understanding him. Like, all right, but this is it.
Yeah, I love how the dog doesn't have a collar also, but the owner has a leash. Like, what are you fucking putting
Oh,
that shit
whoa.
on?
And I'll tell you what, Solid Snake, or could definitely take a lesson from Michael Brower when it comes to
Oh yeah,
hiding out.
hiding.
Like those brushes, those tiny little brush, it is literally like made out of like the perfect material. It stops everyone from being able to see them.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! No flashlight can penetrate that.
I thought it was great.
Friend fight.
No, if you don't want to let me see it, if you just want to be a jerk off about it, just say so. That's all.
Bye, Kyle.
Cowabunga.
You missed the best part of this. He's
You
like,
too.
why have you been to school? He's like, I got mono. Is there anything I could do to help? Like, you know, kiss it better? Like,
Make
I don't
out?
know. Yeah.
Should we butt
I would've missed
fuck like we
school
usually do?
too. Yeah, I would have missed school also, bro. Give me your mono.
I have a question for everybody, real quick. Is there anybody who actually flips people off like this?
I do it all the time, Austin.
Do you really?
This is how I. Are you not getting the message?
It took me 10 seconds just to get my hand to form it this
I've
way.
seen
Wait,
Jake.
are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Does that not look
Like-
funny to you?
It
Disc
reminds me of the way
number
Fred
2.
Savage flipped off
My name-
and fucking vice versa.
My name's Michael Brower. I'm 16 and I'm scared to death. I'm not sure what this tape's gonna prove, but if
Oh,
I'm
this
a
is the
killer,
worst.
consider this my confession.
Wouldn't it be
He's gay,
fucked
right?
up?
He's gay, right? Is he gay?
Listen to that
He
fucking
sounds pretty
delivery,
fucking gay.
though.
No, he's not gay.
I mean, not that
because-
there's nothing wrong with being gay, but he's gay, right?
No, what happened was he filmed this over the half-naked teenage girl next door, and
okay.
that's whenever the cops find it, they find that too. So he goes to jail for pedophilia.
So he hasn't hit puberty yet in this scene. He's literally he has no testosterone in his body
He's
yet.
15, yeah.
Well, he
Yeah,
doesn't have
Plus
any
he's
his
just
real
drinking
life
shit tons of
30-year
milk every day.
girlfriend goes to jail for pedophilia. In
Who
a
goes-
perfect world.
Who does?
His 30-year-old girlfriend in real life at
Yeah.
this point.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, the weird thing about that relationship is that after he kind of grew up, I think he got too old for her.
Ah!
Oh shit!
I think she called it off on him, and then he had a history of like protective orders put against him for like abuse and whatnot. Yeah, he is a
He's a child actor, dude. That's what happens. Whatever fucked up thinking. The only one who got out safe was Macaulay Culkin. And you're going to end up finding out he was Bill Cosby in a bunch of
No,
people.
Kurt Russell.
got
Kurt
out-
Russell got off safe.
Yeah. I was going to say,
You're right.
Macaulay didn't really get out too safe. He is okay now.
Yeah, he had a huge.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin took pictures with a top hat unironically. Okay, you knew you had to be worried about him at that point.
I think Kurt Russell. I love Kurt Russell. but man,
Oh no.
has Kurt Russell ever had a personal blockbuster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to have, right?
A personal blockbuster?
I think
Like where he was the lead. Is that what you mean?
And it-
Yeah, it's
Tombstone.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Tombstone. What
Overboard?
are you fucking talking about?
Yeah.
okay.
The computer wore tennis shoes. Have you never seen this?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That
Oh
movie's
my God.
awesome.
I love those movies.
You know, Kurt Russell's name was the last thing Disney ever wrote, right? So,
Yes.
so Kurt Russell
Was.
killed Walt Disney.
He didn't even know what the fuck it meant either. He was like, "What?
Escape
He
from New
just
York,
wrote my-"
The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, no. But
Tombstone.
these aren't like blockbusters, and he hasn't like really killed anything.
He
That's
killed Disney.
Whoa,
Did you not hear?
whoa, Tango and motherfucking Cash.
right. That actually did make bank.
I'm pretty sure most people would say it was Stallone that would bring more people to the yard. I love Kurt Russell.
Stargate. Stargate.
Hey,
Anybody?
Stargate's pretty. That's a good one. That might be the one.
Where did you
actually.
pull this list from,
Was it a
David?
blockbuster though?
The
Yeah.
computer.
He
All right.
killed him. I didn't-
Fox and the Hound. Am I done yet?
Fox and the Hound. Yeah.
How much did the Fox and the Hound make? Like 20 million?
Django. How about Django?
Django.
He was in Django.
He wasn't in Django.
Oh, dude, used cars. Fuck yeah!
Yes!
Used cars was
I love
awesome.
Used cars.
Holy
So good.
shit! Oh my
So
god,
good.
that movie
And
is
let
so
us-
fucking good.
Let us not
Yeah.
forget Captain Ron. All right, on.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Or dial 1-800-555-FEAR. Yes, Master. Well, here goes nothing.
A little bit of raw chicken.
Oh, miracle. It looks so bad. He's not even eating that shit. Like, make commit to that
Bitch.
shit.
He called him a bitch.
Fix myself a little snack.
In
It's
the
like Glenn Howerton a little bit.
on
It's
the
weird.
Amazon closed captions, he called him Butch.
Oh.
Just as insulting.
Disc 3. Don't see anything but a timer.
Brick.
That fucking principal had a real hard one for him, though, didn't he?
Well,
Didn't that principal look like the guy from Halloween 3? That's who I thought it was at first.
the main bad guy.
No, the main good guy. in
Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
The guy who played the principal was always like the grocer in movies and stuff like that. He's a character actor. He's in a ton of shit. But it's like,
The grocer.
yeah, he was always just like the grocer or something like that. He was just always
What's the grocer?
You know what's
the
funny?
guy-
I bet the,
Grocer?
the guy who
The guy who
bags
sells
your
you your
groceries.
groceries.
yeah. I bet he probably taught an acting school in L.A. based on just the niche role of playing the grocer.
Double bag the milk.
Are you there? Rumberg.
He didn't double bag the milk.
Shit. What happened?
Made it, Michael.
I thought that's
A bit
didn't
clumsy,
double
but
bag
you
the milk.
made it.
I killed somebody. Again, I killed somebody.
Actually, you were magnificent. The neighborhood is covered in blood.
But you said I wouldn't kill
Does it
anybody.
freak you guys out at all that these 90s hairstyles are back in style now? Like the kids had like that hairstyle. and stuff
Full
like that?
circle, bro.
Yeah.
Are
Full
you seeing
circle.
these out in public?
Yeah, I've seen kids out in public, dude. They look like 90s kids now. They wear the same clothes and everything, flannels and shit. Like,
The mom jeans are coming back.
yeah, I'm okay with that, though. I really- You know why? Because I'm into
There's
older
no
women.
why. That doesn't compute, Ducko.
Why not? That's what I'm into.
You promised.
Disc
Okay, did it
4.
aggravate anybody else in that scene where, like, he was like, "You told me I wouldn't kill anybody anymore." He didn't really kill anybody.
No.
The
bricks-
principal
the
ran
bricks
into the
fell on
pole,
him, yeah.
and the bricks fell on him, and the
Video
other guy
game.
got shot by the crowd.
Yeah,
He
I got that
literally
too.
killed nobody.
It's all
Yeah.
a
So
video
when the trickster
game.
was like, the trickster was like, actually, I thought he was going to say, "You didn't kill anybody,"
Yeah.
but he went, "It was magical." What?
It was magical the way you didn't kill anybody.
There's blood all
How
over.
innocent you are. That's
Disc number 4.
Goodbye, Master.
Apparently, they shot a scene where the two of them merged together, and it was super gory, but they cut it out.
Yeah, they said
They used like actual practical effects.
Yeah, supposedly the creature effects were like really impressive, but they
cut it out. It was on to the director.
What are you waiting for?
Fuck you, Trickster. Piece of shit. That's bad. Right there. That's the money shot.
Cool. That's a cool scene. Yeah. And they should have left it at that because the next scene where he drifts away was so bad.
Yeah. It didn't make it to the clip. You're good.
Where are her parents? I just asked.
This is a movie chock full
Video
of
game.
bad, negligent parents.
Sleep. You have to go into their bedroom and tap on the bed to wake them up.
Yeah, if you think about it, in the entire movie, you see like one set of parents.
Yeah.
And they're
It was hers.
What's that?
Game over.
Game over.
Living on the edge.
Just got revoked.
You can judge a blind man.
Surprise.
Langella!
LB, XX square. Yeah, the first shot doesn't work. Did you notice that?
Up, down,
His
down.
first shot, blank.
Up, down, left, right.
I mean, that's on par with everything that's going on. So.
Does anyone else got the fun from that Frank Langella legitimately killed teens? Like, he just seemed like a type that would just like kill like specifically teens.
That's how he stayed. He kept his youthful look.
You should have learned your manners, and then you would pop again.
It was good in the Ninth Gate or whatever.
Was he in that? Was that the Johnny Depp movie?
Yeah, where he's the devil or whatever.
Yeah. School's out for summer.
Brainscan.
Another Alice Cooper reference? Okay.
See, he's cool.
You just gave me another soul. I don't care. I don't know.
I know what I'm going for Halloween this year. I'm going as Brainscan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the principal.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going as Trickster, you're going as the CD case.
Yeah, it's easier to make. I just do it on a cardboard. It's a big square.
I'm gonna go as the partner who gets killed.
I'll go as Frank Langella and just break every law ever as I'm solving a mystery.
Who's partner? Eddie Furlongs or Frank Langella?
Oh,
Frank
man.
Langella's partner. So you're going to dress as a history teacher.
Yeah.
I thought he was going as Kyle. I didn't know.
All right.
God, that would be a good costume, man. I would rock the shit out of Kyle.
Jake could really pull off a good.
Oh
Kyle.
yeah. You
Oh,
got the
yeah,
hair.
thank you.
Grow out the hair a little bit. You're on it, man.
Just
Bro,
say, "My magically delicious."
Jake, be
Can I
honest.
get a copy of the game already?
Jake, be honest. Open up your wardrobe. Let's see. Do you have a Kyle wardrobe in
I'm
there?
already halfway there.
You're halfway there. That's awesome.
All right, guys.
Kylan.
Let's do some
Kylan.
recommendations real quick because I always forget to do these. Jay actually said this movie earlier, and so definitely got to recommend it. It's going to be a Full Moon Entertainment, so you know it's got to be quality. It's a movie called Arcade from 1993, and what a fucking blast! We will eventually watch this movie.
Whoa.
I
Oh,
love
so
this
there's
movie.
the real Seth Green.
Yep. And would you please stand up? Please stand up. And it's got John DeLacy from Star Trek The Next Generation. And it is just a fun movie about these kids getting sucked into an arcade game. And one by one, it consumes their souls. And
Oh my
as you can see, the
God.
graphics are terrible.
Holy
but
They stole it from
I-
Sean.
This is pure
loving this.
nostalgia for me. And we will eventually watch this. This will be one of my picks because it is a kid's horror movie through and through. And I don't expect anyone to recommend it except for myself after we watch it, but I highly enjoy it. So definitely go check that out. You can find it on YouTube for free. Just look up Arcade 1993.
This is the kind of shit the Good Time Boys watch.
Next.
Hey, the fact that Seth Green, I see them in that. There was a rumor that he was in both movies.
Oh
What?
wow!
That he was Kyle, and like there's just a
Oh,
rumor.
I see.
It's
do you
not
know-
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever Kyle mentions to Michael at the beginning which Fangoria magazine the
Fango.
Brainscan ad is in, or the fucking topic is, it's like, it's the one with the eyeballs popping out. That's the fucking
Total Recall, right?
Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Awesome.
1990. Yeah.
That's funny because Arnold too. The next recommendation will be Existence. Have you guys seen this movie ever? It's a Cronenberg.
Yes, I loved it.
Yes.
I love
this,
Cronenberg.
This is so much like along the same lines of the video game and what is real and what is not.
Fast Times at
And
Ridgemont High, girl.
Jesus Christ, this trailer is going to
Jennifer
cause a
Aniston
seizure.
Leigh.
This thing is just all over the place. But yeah, as a movie, I wouldn't say it's great, but I think that it's intriguing enough that you need to watch it at least once. It is pure Cronenberg body horror goodness. And
Jennifer Jason Leigh, bro. She's awesome.
yeah, it's just
Dude,
Who the fuck is Daisy Damagu?
it is it's a good movie though. I like that movie. We should probably watch that sometime too. And then finally, because there's 3 recommends. Why? I don't know why, but there is. Let me see if I can get this to share. It's hard to run tech and this. This movie is terrible, but I'm going to recommend it for the simple fact that it came out, I think, 96. Jay, does that sound right? Lawnmower Man 2?
December 95, I
90
believe.
Yeah, and
God,
it
I can't believe they
is.
got Matt Frewer for this one.
And discount Macaulay Culkin with Austin
They
O'Brien.
should have just made a max headroom at this point, though.
So does that mean that the guy from Jurassic Park is discount Pierce Brosnan because he plays Pierce Brosnan's character in this movie?
Huh?
What was the lead actor from Jurassic Park? Oh,
Sam Neill.
Sam
and
Neill, yeah.
The lead actor in this movie is Patrick Bergen from Sleeping with the Enemy.
It's not Sam Neill? I thought it was.
Yeah, it's Patrick Bergen.
My bad. So Sam Neill is definitely not in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, in my heart of hearts, I wish he was. Yeah, it's got Max Headroom in it, and it is a terrible sequel to a somewhat decent movie. But I just like it because it's
a decent movie. You think the first one was a decent
I
movie?
think Lawnmower Man's a
Are
good
you
movie.
fucking shitting me?
No, what?
bro?
Everyone else hates
Oh
Lawnmower
my
Man.
God, it is so fucking horrible.
Really?
I like it because of how campy, shitty, bad it is.
Who's the yes, Jeff.
Fahey,
Oh my God, he's so bad. I love him. I love Jeff Fahey.
Yeah. Okay, his best movie was Body Parts. But
Yes.
either way, this is Lawnmower Man is so fucking bad. Are you kidding me?
I like it, but I
It
haven't
was-
seen it since 1997. So
That was the first movie to introduce, like, to me, virtual reality.
And it
And-
sucked.
And even then, I was like,
I'll
oh,
pass. Never mind.
I wanted to like.
But
the
it's
Lawnmower
kind of
Man.
plays along with that idea of cyberspace and these games and what everyone thought that they would eventually be able to do. Because even though this movie is 1994, it's like you could play a game similar to this. You know what I mean? That came out now, or that's the idea.
Daylight.
They all they were
point and
all
click
kind of
games.
showing where the technology was eventually going. So
Well, there's a game series that came really soon after this called Phantasmagoria.
Oh yeah.
It was a PC game. and it
full
was very
motion
much a
video, right?
Full motion video, click and point adventures, and it's just kind of this movie really did kind of like spawn that trend in PC gaming to go. And also, if you think about it, this movie came out 2 years before Resident Evil, so that whole survival horror aspect, it kind of helped give a little bit of birth to that as well. I think it definitely leaves a little bit of a mark in the gaming industry.
It's definitely was a fun movie. So I appreciate.
Number one movie I ever wanted to see made into a video game that never was.
Yeah, never
They
gonna.
would have
be
let
either.
you down. Like you would have. Did you want to expect the whole like video game that was in the movie, or would you want a video game of the movie?
I would have liked like a Universal Studios ride of the movie.
Would you play the game, Jay? Would you play the game? Would you play Brainscan?
But that's the whole thing. It's like Schrodinger's cat. Watching the movie, you can only really watch the movie once if you don't see the twist coming. And if you did see the twist coming, okay, good for you. But like, I like it when twists happen and I don't see them coming because I can be surprised.
I loved it. I love the twist.
So you can't, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know what I would do. It's a good question.
Do you know that it's the same gameplay every time that you play it, though?
Is it?
What if they get I was going to say, what if you get a different experience every time? Everybody's experience is unique.
Well, I think it does change because Kyle was saying when he was giving the description.
To the principal.
Well, when he was giving the description of the game, he said a bunch of different scenarios. So I think it does change.
Yeah. Some kid in Texas has an aneurysm.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking gets away with scot-free and just wakes up with a bum knee or fucking cold leftovers or whatever the fuck you
Well, they call the game that he's playing, y'all catch the name of the game that Michael's actually playing?
Brainscan.
Brainscan.
No, it goes, you will be playing Death by Design.
So there are.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a subset of it. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay, so then in that case, they are scanning his fucking brain, and they see that he's totally a fucking psychopath, sociopath, and he will eventually kill somebody.
Agreed.
So, Trickster is basically a superhero.
Yeah, he's sussing them out.
He's a fucking Jiminy Cricket, is what he is. He's
Minority Report. He's
I kind of interpreted it as something like the Trickster was something that it unlocked in his brain, and that's why I saw him at the end.
He was his id.
Yeah.
Maybe he's still in the fucking game.
Which is how Total Recall should have ended.
Nah, man, it ended perfectly. He got the fucking lobotomy at the end.
Well, yeah. Well, no, yeah.
Because he stayed in the fucking game, man. He was in the fucking game.
You know what?
And whenever you see that blinding light, that's him actually getting the lobotomy. Because they sent in the dude telling him, hey, this is not real life.
This is what's going to happen.
Take this fucking pill. Yes.
You know what? Yeah. Fuck all those recommendations. Watch Total Recall. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Gotta watch it. All right, David, where can they find you on the internet?
Instagram, Children of Dave. Facebook, Stop Motion Nightmares. June 5th at Viva's Burlesque Show, and then June 10th at Addison Improv.
Right on. And you can find us on the internet at wearepodcast.podbean.com. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, Jake, and Javi, breaking down pop culture. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast. We talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. We just released the Portal episode, so go listen to that if you have a chance. Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest where we play some D&D. And finally, we have Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you get a chance, go to our social media, check out some of the Wappin' reviews I put out. Wappin'. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week with Evil Dead 2. Excited to talk about that. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here to talk Brainscan. That was a fun one. And